Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Kearney High School Stadium, where we have a top 10 matchup for you between the visiting Grand Island Islanders and the home Kearney High School Bearcats. Hello, I'm your host, Jeff Ekstrom, along with my partner, Nate Mishu, Cannon Rath, Zach Warkey, and Sean Carson. And we are excited to bring you some top 10 soccer action. First, let's get with the starters. We'll start with Grand Island. First is a sophomore, number 4, Jair Orzako. Then a forward, a senior, number 5, David Garcia. Then number 6, a sophomore defender, Moises Jacobo. Then number 7, a freshman forward, Najib Omar. Then number 8, a senior midfielder, number 8, Derman Mendez. Then number 9, a junior midfielder, Brian Covarrubias. And then a junior midfielder, number 10, Steven Castillo. A senior forward, number 11, Manuel Corrado Jr. Then a forward, senior, number 18, Amuno Ortego. And then a freshman midfielder, number 21, Ernesto Gomez Jr. And in goal is number 12, a senior, Justin Oregon. And now for the Bearcats. First is a senior defender, number 2, Brant Spath. Then a junior midfielder, number 3, Christian Dakin. A sophomore midfielder, number 6, Jaden Engen. And then a junior forward, number 9, Hunter Novacek. A senior forward, number 12, Matt Munch. A senior defender, number 13, John Erickson. A sophomore midfielder, number 14, Carson Schwartz. A junior defender, number 18, Sam Straka. A sophomore forward, number 23, Royce Austin. And then a sophomore forward as well, number 25, Michael Root. And then in goal is a sophomore, number 0, Jacob Hardy. And those are your starting ups. The coach for Kearney is Scott Steinberg, assisted by Robert Mishu, Andy Chaddock, Ryan Sales, Bill Lindsay, and Jorge Ortega. For the Islanders, the coach is Jeremy Jensen, assisted by John Kina, Robert Elmquist, and James Panowitz. We'll have the national anthem come back with the kickoff of Kearney Grand Island next here on BS. Welcome back to Kearney. We're just about set for kickoff between the Battle of Conference Champions. Grand Island winning the Heartlands Athletic Conference and Kearney winning the Greater Nebraska Athletic Conference tournament last weekend. And so, Nate, as we look forward to this matchup, what are you excited about in this whole grand scheme of things?
Another top 10 game that we're covering in Kearney. This is the second one in a row for the boys that they're playing a top 10 team. And, hopefully the outcome was the same versus Lexington. A tough battle, but a win for the Bearcats tonight.
And so, Bearcats coming in with a record of 8-1, while Grand Island comes in with a record of 7-2. Their latest result, Kearney winning the GNAC Conference Championship, beating Columbus 1-0 in a shootout, coming to win that conference championship for the first time since 2013. And Grand Island, and probably winning the HAC Conference Championship winning all 3 matches in a shootout to win it for the 5th time in the last 7 years.
Yeah, 2 teams coming off great weekend performances, having a lot of momentum, and both looking to bolster up their win tallies with another one versus another top 10 team tonight.
So as we look forward to this match, girls won early, just a little bit earlier. They won 5-0. Kearney did over Grand Island. So the Grand Island girls have not picked up a victory over Kearney since 2008. And as I scramble through my papers here, we'll look for Kearney's past history with the Islanders. As I pull it up here, we got, so the last 2 years have been Kearney. They've won 3-0 in 2015, only 1-0 last season. Kearney is 9-5 versus Grand Island since 2004 and have won 2 out of the last 3 matches. Last time Grand Island won was in 2014 when they won 3-2. And I know, Nate, you were part of the Kearney teams back in 2011 and 2012. Those were just absolute dogfights. Both teams, some of the top teams in the state, and they were real fun ones to watch.
Yeah, they were honestly a great time to be a part of. You know, unfortunately, we ended up losing, but, you know, I don't think there's been too many games that I've played in with, you know, as much intensity and passion for the game of soccer.
And so we are just about set for kickoff between these 2 schools. As they're getting set here. There's a little delay here. Can't seem to figure out why. It looks like a play for any time to shoe or.
Yeah, he's got to tape his shin guards up. The old shin pads. Yeah, I mustn't.
As it looks like the Islander got those shin guards taped up. And we are underway as Grand Island will just boom it into the attacking third. Hardy coming out to play it. He will. And that's how we'll start this top 10 matchup. As Hardy, he enters with the zone boom of the kick down the other field.
A little keeper war going on.
As we like to call in hockey, it's the goalie game.
Exactly.
And again,
that would probably go to Hardy if there wasn't any wind out here as well.
Based on the flags, looks like it will be Grand Island who will be going against the wind to start this game. Kearney go with the wind here in the first half. They will against it in the second half as Grand Island plays an attacking third. A little of a misplay, but still kept in by the Islanders. So as we look upon the formations for each team, of course, Kearney, they're running a 4-4-3 as they have run that for, or 4-3-3, excuse me. They've run that for a while. What are you seeing from Grand Island?
Looks like a 4-4-2. A lot of that's kind of how they've typically played in the past. Sometimes they play a 4-2-3-1, and it might eventually break out into that. But it looks like a pretty typical 4-4-2. The 4 in the mid, in the back, 4 in the mid, and then the 2 strikers up top.
And so they probably want to use the advantage of the freshman forward. There's a chance, a shot off the top goal post, rebound, and it goes in. A really early goal there for Grand Island to make it 1-0.
Well, that's not really a good start that you want to have right there, to be honest with you.
That was number 5, David Garcia.
Unfortunate loose giveaway by Carson Swartz in the middle there, kind of spurred that Grand Island attack right there. Decent save from Hardy off the crossbar and then back down, and he buried that one. No chance to stop that.
And so Kearney is down to 1 hole early on. Just seemed like the pressure got to Kearney right there as a result of that goal.
Yeah, it did. As you know, unfortunate little lax on the ball. Needed to get rid of it there a little bit quicker. And kind of get some possession for Kearney and settle them down. Looks like they're still a little A little amped up, a little nervous, a little jittery because it is a GI Kearney game. The emotions are there, and they just need to get a few touches and settle down.
As a battle for Matt Munch. We'll try to get in. Here's a chance for Munch. He's going to shoot, and it's going to go right to Oregon. Good opportunity there. There was the chance. As it's battled around midfield, just a few minutes in, Kearney in an early 1-goal deficit. As it's Erickson going to play to the far sideline. It's Austin. He's going to try to play in for Root, but it's broken up. As Islanders played in again. As here they come. It's number 8, Derwin Mendez. He's going to play it in. Looking for freshman Naveed Omar. He's probably their star player when it comes to putting in those goals. Here comes Novacek. Tried to play it in for Austin, but it's broken up there by the Islander defense. As Austin will play it near corner in the far sideline. Here's a shot. Save by Oregon. That looks like a pretty good shot from here.
Yeah, it was pretty comfortable for Oregon, though. He'll pick that up basically 10 times out of 10, to be honest with you.
It's played back into the attack ether for Kearney. And it's going to be out on the Bearcats. So goal kick coming as we have an early substitution for Grand Island. That's number 30, Mark Ulloa. So, of course, Kearney running that 4-3-3. So early on, Nate, what are you seeing for the offensive strategy for the Bearcats? What are they trying to do offensively?
Kind of typically what they've done in the last couple games since they switched. Royce is kind of playing in that number 10, that little free roll, and Root is up top. Kind of there. Those are their two big boys up top that they'll try to get the ball to, and hopefully Root can hold it up and get Royce under him, and keep that free roll. He's a vital player in that midfield forward area for them.
So if you're Kearney, giving up that early goal, that's probably the best start Grand Island could dream of. What if you're Coach Steinberg? What are you telling your kids with this early goal deficit?
It was a minute 30 into the game, so you got 78.5 minutes to kind of come back from this. Is it the start you wanted? Heck no. But it's only one goal. It's not 2, 3, or 4 right now, and one goal. Back in the game and tie game. Unfortunately they've got it's only been 5-6 minutes into this game now, and that should play a big advantage to them, and just got to have some confidence and keep going forward.
Dakin played it in, but it's going to be brought back out by the Islanders. They're going to try to go with the counter attack. As the Islanders will play it here in the zone. And with the early goal, it's probably going to foretell that this one's going to be pretty close. We probably could have guessed that before the game as well, but this is going to be a real close match. It's funny because Kearney 8-1 with a ranked number 7 in the Lincoln Journal-Star. The biggest margin of victory this year has been 2 goals, so it's not like they've blown out everyone. They've played solid competition. It's been good games, but they've won those hard-fought battles, and I think that could come in an advantage. They've played those tough games again into this matchup here tonight.
Exactly. They're starting to score goals, and they haven't been scored on too many times in the last couple of games, and, different start here to things. But saying that, they have been scoring goals, and they've been defending well. So I don't foresee a problem as long as they can get keep an attack and not have to sit back and defend most of this game, which right now they've controlled it all but that first, minute and a half where they gave that ball away.
As a free kick for Sam Straka. As here's the kick in deep, a little too far for any of the attacking forwards for Kearney. So Oregon will come up with the stop, and he'll look to kick it away. Good crowd on hand for tonight's top 10 matchup. Well, you would think it's always a good crowd for Grand Island and Kearney. So a good night for soccer. Other events going around town as well. Kearney High Tennis hosted a meet tonight as well at Harmon Park. Then it's the Kearney High School boys and girls track teams competed at the Omaha Central Invite today as well. So plenty of Bearcat athletics going on this Thursday, April the 13th, as we have Sam Straka is going to, or excuse me, Carson Schwartz is going to push the pace. He'll drop it off back for Austin. And he'll give it to Ingen. Ingen on the back four gives it to Spath, and he's going to play it in over Novacek. That's not a very good pass right there.
Nope. Need a little bit more checking back to him for the ball there. It's pretty stagnant up top right now.
As David Garcia checks back in. He scored the early goal to put the Islanders on top 1-0. Just a little under 9 minutes into this boys matchup. The Islanders look to push in the zone again, and it's Spath, who kicks away for Root. Headed out by an Islander. So Novacek will throw it in. He'll leave it off for, looks like Erickson. So Erickson gives it to Schwartz. And we speak of Schwartz, it's like I think they really started to click as well when they, as I think Steinberg, Coach Steinberg did. I think they moved Schwartz back to kind of a midfielder, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he was playing alongside of Spath there early on in the season, and that was just something they had to do because, unfortunately, Leo had that ACL tear, and they had to solidify that back four. But as some guys started stepping up, it gave him Coach Steinberg the ability to put Carson back in the middle, which, he can't. There's not really too many better players to have there, physicality-wise, ball control-wise, and just a leader, in all honesty, with him.
And so, as we are 10 minutes into this match, 1-0 Grand Island. We wish it was 1-0 Kearney, but
Kearney's having a good bit of possession here right now. See if they can make a little something out of it. But again, good defending by Grand Island.
As is Garcia, try to get in the attacking third. He's going to try to play it in, but it's going to go plenty wide for Hardy. Garcia was looking for Omar right there. And he started to kick downfield for Rutt, headed away by Grand Island, and they're going to try to get handball, if I'm correct.
I think it's a little foul on Royce, yeah.
So here come the Islanders on the attack once again. Kicked in deep, but Hardy will be there. And the goal given up by Hardy, I don't say that was a tough one to stop.
Yeah,
went off the crossbar. He had to recover. There were bodies in front of him. It's a quick rebound shot by Garcia.
Yeah,
so I don't know if you
not
can put
much one that Hardy's
Hardy.
ever going to know about. He got fingertips on that first one for it to come off the crossbar, but where that rebound came and how quickly he had to adjust it. Not much that he could unfortunately do about that. And in all honesty, the rebound just came out to one of the Grand Island players, and there really wasn't much anything Kearney could really do. It just fell to the wrong person at the wrong time.
And here's Omar. Bring it up. Dakin pokes it loose, but Garcia with it. Boston with the tackle attempt, but it's back into the attacking third for Grand Island. They'll have it at midfield. As Grand Island coming with a chance here once again, as it's Erickson with good defense right there. Erickson plays it to Novacek on the far sideline. He'll bring it up Going to look for Root upfield, but it's going to deflect to Munch. And, yep, that's a handball right there. And
a little slow right now for Kearney, in all honesty, and not one of their better starts out here. As you're going to see, 2 subs coming here trying to mix things up and see if they can't get something going. Kind of need to start picking it up here as it's about 13 minutes into this game already.
as we see coming into substitutions, that will be Jaron Hovert, and Matt Studi coming in for the first time. Be able to see him on Strive TV. He was a starting midfielder, probably one of the core members of this team. Was riddled with injuries, and now he'll play, like you mentioned before, Nate, beforehand. He'll play 20 to 30 minutes, but not
hopefully,
full scale.
Hopefully, if he can go, he goes and gets as many minutes out of him as he can. Typically, with this, what you're going to see is Royce is going to go up top. Carson might end up playing a little higher up the field for a little bit more of an attacking threat, and you're going to see Dakin and Studi sit, or the other way around, where Carson will sit with Studi and it's going to be Dakin. But right now, that's your 3 midfield, and Royce is going to play up top. And right now, it actually looks like Carson's going to play a little bit higher with Dakin and Studi holding.
So as you mentioned about Studi being one of those core members, what makes him so valuable for Kearney in that midfield spot?
His work ethic. I don't think the kid stops, in all honesty. And when obviously he's a little bit injured right now and knocked up, but the kid's got an engine, goes to everything, and he's a pretty good he's a good leader in there. He knows what to do. He's played that position for probably honestly since he's played soccer, in all honesty, but does a lot of good things there, and wins the ball and gets the ball out of his feet and plays.
And so a throw in, headed by Dakin, but Islanders will have the possession as we're transferring back over about 15 minutes in. Grand Island's had the majority here of the possession as of late. There's a chance. Here's a shot, and it just goes wide. That was another good chance for Grand Island, but goes up and wide, and it'll be a goal kick. So, Nate, what are you seeing offensively for Grand Island that's been so effective so far?
A lot of it's coming in the midfield. They're easily winning this, what we call the midfield battle right now. They are honestly kind of taking Kearney to town right now, and that's kind of where Kearney's having their little bit of mistakes right now. Kind of need to bolster that up and start winning some balls and getting a little bit of possession in there. You'll see that eventually. I think it's just a little bit of a slow start from Kearney right now. But also Grand Island's a good team. They're going to be good in the midfield, so I think whoever wins that's going to win the game. Whoever has that possession in the midfield, whoever's going to win that physicality battle is going to win this game. And right now, GI is winning it, hence they're on top 1-0.
And so Kearney will throw it in, trying to get something done on the offensive side of things as they trail 1-0 here early on. It's going to be Hunter Novacek. He's going to try to play it in for Hovert, but it's back down, and Dakin misplayed it, but he'll still get the possession. Makes a nice move to get by the defender, gives it to Hovert, back out for Straka. He's going to try to play it for Royce. That's not bad of a cross right there. Not bad for a long pass, but just goes a little too far.
Unfortunately, the wind's at their back. Maybe in the second half that ball kind of holds up for Royce, and he at least gets a touch on it.
So hopefully the weather holds off. We have a weather prediction of a little rain at around 7:30 to our weatherman, Sean Carson, he mentioned earlier. So hopefully it holds off. We'll get just no lightning. We just don't want any lightning, and we're okay. Maybe the fans don't want the rain either.
Hey, I don't mind a bit of rain. We're in a booth right now, but when I was playing, I love a bit of rain on the turf surface, make that ball start flying around, see a little bit faster soccer even.
So, yeah, once rain starts, it's going to be a show.
Yeah.
Watch out for those balls flying all over the place.
You're going to see on the ball, typically on the deck a little bit more, even from a shooting perspective, trying to put a little one-hopper about 5 to 10 yards in front of that keeper to make him make a decision.
Straka headers ahead looking for Hovert. Islanders going to play it in deep once again. On the attack is Steven Castillo. Now it's going to be taken away by John Erickson, and he's going to play down for Schwarz as it's going to be off an Islander. It'll be Novacek who will throw it in. And here's a chance for Carson Schwartz. This is the tackle attempt, and we played back out. And when we talk about Hover come out the bench, we talk about the rotation. Coach Steinbrook, usually he doesn't like, well, I wouldn't say he wouldn't like, but he usually doesn't rotate as many kids in, maybe 2 or 3.
That's typically how it always is. And, you know, in soccer, at a higher level, you typically don't make many subs. I mean, if you play professional, it's only 3 subs. If you play college, it's once you come out in the first half, you can't go back in. And even then, most college coaches aren't going to sub more than 2 or 3 players typically, unless they have to. And, you know, here Steinberg does the same thing. There's really no point to play very many substitutions unless you have to. Most of you guys, you know, at this stage of the season are fit. You know who your main 13, 14, 15 guys are, and that's just how it is. You use the other guys if you need them, and, you know, sometimes you do need them, but you like to stick with your core group as they have put in the minutes and the work. As
Studi's going to play it. Gets it in the midfield. He's going to give it away to Novacek on the far sideline. Try to kick it to Austin, which is a little too far. Kicks it out. Out of play. And so throw in, and it looks like
this needs to back up a little bit. I think John was trying to be a little cheeky and get a few more yards out of that throw. Get those muscles and help him throw the ball a little further down the field.
As Erickson throws it in. And Grand Island to take it away. They'll kick it downfield. It's going to be headed by Spath. Battle for it, Studi. He'll come up with it, and he's going to get it away to Novacek, but Islanders come away with it to Omar, and it's going to be a counterattack the other way. Omar holds up, passes it back, but Dakin's going to kick it out of that zone. So you're seeing Kearney, they're shaping up defensively with that one mistake there at the beginning, but I think they're doing a little better. I think they're adjusting.
Yeah, they're
not too bad.
They're still adjust. It's still
a
little too open. As you guys can probably see on your screen, at times there's still a little too much space in between some of the players, and it's giving the Grand Island midfielders a bit more time than that they should be allowed to have on the ball, and that's what's creating a couple of their chances that, you know, one that they've scored on, and, you know, Hardy needing to make a save on the other one, and, you know, pretty last-ditch defending again. Just kind of overall the pace needs to pick up for the Bearcat boys right here. It's a little slow, to say the least, and, you know, I'm sure Steinberg's probably not too happy with this at the point in time, especially being down 1-0, but it's just been really slow for the boys, and I think that hopefully they pick it up in the next, you know, 19 minutes for their sake. Otherwise, it's going to be an interesting halftime talk because he's going to light a little fire under their butt.
Now, this is probably true for all teams, but who knows for Kearney is the fact that when their back four really plays well, the result goes in their favor. But when they're kind of slow, it looks like they don't do as well offensively or, of course, defensively as well.
Yeah, I just think you're seeing a few too many mistakes in the midfield right now. Like, you know, again, like we talked about that battle in the midfield there. I mean, it's Grand Island's controlling that pretty handily right now. Kearney needs to have a little bit more possession in there, at least a little bit more direct. They haven't been very direct yet. It's been getting the ball going forward, and it's just losing it. They haven't found that possession with a purpose at going forward and trying to score a goal yet.
And so Royce Aston drove down the field, and it's out of play. So Strack will have the throw in.
And you're going to see a cannon right here. This is basically a corner, especially with the wood at his back. You will probably see this hit almost the penalty spot.
Jeez, that's the long one right there. Headered out. Here's a chance. It's Havertz, and it's going to be broken up and out.
He kind of needed to hit that one. He kind of backed out of that challenge there a little bit late. Thought he was going to get tackled. Need to go through that next time. But, hey, you know, that's an attacking chance for the Bearcats. They'll take that a little bit. You know, another positive step is going to be that Straka cannon throw.
As we got 18:15 left on the clock here in this first half of play. Islanders lead it 1-0. Battle of Conference Champions. As they get call handball, looks like. Am I correct?
Yeah, anywhere else, that not even been a yellow card just for how high his hand was, and honestly, he was just 50 yards away from the goal, so I don't think that's going to deem a yellow card.
So, free kick, Straka.
This is where
That's a
Straka is
nice
absolutely.
one. A header deflected.
Looks like it's going to be a corner, honestly. I'd be surprised if it was a goal kick.
And it's going to be. So, corner kick coming for the Bearcats. So, here's an opportunity to get back into this game. Looks like might be Dakin taking the corner.
Dakin will take most of the set pieces.
Low and hard, a header, rebound chance. Oh, what a save!
Goodness.
Rebound by Crittenden. The shot goes wide, but that's all Oregon right there.
My gosh, yeah, that was probably one of the best saves I've ever seen in person. I played with a lot of great keepers in the past couple of years. I don't even know how to explain that one to you guys, to be honest with you. He picked that out of the bottom corner and full stretch. That is his full range that he has, and he used every inch of that. What I'm going to guess is about a 5'11", 6-foot frame on him.
As the corner is batted out by the Islanders, as Erickson decides to play it. The goodbye defender plays up to Crittenden, up the far sideline for Dakin. And it's going to be off an Islander.
And there's that tempo you're starting to see pick up from the Bearcats. Just needed a few chances, I think, get some confidence going.
So we got the big cannon right here again.
Yeah, exactly. Here comes Straka. You may as well use the set pieces because that's what's working for him right now. Nothing else has been good right now.
Here's a chance.
It's good goalkeeping right there.
And now here's Straka. He's going to send one back to the other corner. It's for Austin. Austin's going to go over his head. He gets by. Out front. Open net. No.
There's got to be something in there.
And a kick, and it's going to be.
I'm not really sure what happened right there. That is either a dead ball or it's going to be keeper. I'm not a whole lot sure what was called right there.
Based on what we looked up from up here, it looked like it had to hit a hand of someone from Islander. It just
I think it kind of just got stuck in his legs, but technically there's no dangerous play. So as weird as that looked, referee handled that pretty well. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this is probably one of the best referees in the state, and I think he's like 25 years old. He's not much older than I am. You're not going to get a better ref in the state of Nebraska, in all honesty. Little fact, he actually won like the junior referee award in the state of Nebraska, and I think it might have been actually an Olive Referee Association. So there's that little tidbit for you.
As Novacek checks in for Matt Studi. So Kearney getting the chances to get a little more offensively.
Unfortunately, the leg just didn't swing through one of the balls. That was kind of bouncing around in the box there. But, again, another opportunity for Kearney coming off set pieces. They're always going to be one of their strongest part of their game. And as you hopefully start to see a little bit more possession and calm it down in that midfield, as it's kind of starting to switch who's controlling that midfield. As Kearney slowly starting to take it, but Grand Island's going to go on a counterattack here, and pretty well dealt with by Spath as it comes back in again.
As Omar plays it for Garcia on the near sideline. Straka on the defense. He's going to look for a cross, and Spath's going to have the left foot. That's a good defense there by Brant Spath, the senior. As Ani Ortega is out for the Islanders, and so thrown by Straka gives it to Novacek. Or excuse me, I think that's Crittenden.
Yep.
Crittenden's going to try to play it in for Austin, but Oregon's going to come in and swallow that chance up. The last shot by Kearney, the play-in, Oregon came in hard. I mean, actually, in fact, hit one of his players, and the player was down for a second.
Yeah, that's just a part of being a defender when your keeper comes out and you're going to get hit in the back of the head. But overall, it was really good goalkeeping by him, and just came out at the appropriate time and punched, and unfortunately took out one of his own players.
I guess that would be the definition of an aggressive goalie.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you're supposed to play keeper. When that long ball kind of comes in, as long as he feels comfortable going out and attempting to make that save.
As Novacek tries to play it, but defended well by the Islanders. They play it back here at the midfield with 13 minutes to go as Austin loses it. It'll be turnover for Garcia. Plays it for Erickson. He'll play it back down. Go right into the foot of an Islander. He'll be back here at midfield. So, and here's Austin with the takeaway. So
they need to get people forward. That's real slow from the Bearcats, to be honest, right there. That's not that you give it when GI gives a ball away right there, and it's only Austin and Hoffert running. That's kind of lackadaisical on that counter that they had, as they had a man advantage there for a hot second.
So when we look at the Bearcats they've done better offensively. What have you seen from them that you think has contributed to that?
It's all been set pieces, which is good. That they're a big, they're a physical team, and they've got Straka who's basically a corner anywhere you go. Now you're starting to see him have a little bit more possession in the midfield and go forward. Need a little bit more of that as this game kind of starts to extend on, so they're not running and chasing the ball the whole time. And obviously need to still be dangerous on set pieces like they have. That's been their big key so far. Just kind of need to pick that up, basically everywhere throughout the field in the attacking sense and going forward.
As the Islanders play in the midfield, they bring it up. As Omar tries to play it in, but a little misplay there by Engen, but Hardy bails him out, and so Hardy will just kick it down field, looking for Novacek, but will be too far for him as it's headed back into the midfield. There's Erickson. With the final 11 minutes of the half, Bearcats trail it 1-0 to an early goal by the Islanders' David Garcia off a shot that went off the crossbar. And just a rebound that went to the back of the net. As it will be off Islander, it'll be a throw-in. And so as we look to the game situation stats, we got big one I looked at was the fact that Bearcats are 7-1 when Royce Austin scores a goal. Of course, he has 10 goals on the season to lead the Bearcats. So, Nate, you played forward, midfielder in high school here at Kearney. What do you see from him that makes him such an impact forward for Kearney?
He's just a dynamic player in the general sense, saying that he does get a pretty free role, which allows him to do a lot of things, but saying that free role, he's probably one of the best players playing in that free role. Being about 5'5", I'll be generous and give him that. He's not an amazingly tall player. On a professional level, you can give the Dean that messy position, that false number 9 or that number 10. Dynamic checks to the ball, always on the ball. He's probably got one of the best touches out on this field. I'd honestly say he's probably one of the best players, if the best, not the best player on the field right now, with his foot skills and goal scoring ability. Saying that he is a pretty frequently marked person by other teams, so he does need to play pretty quickly, and when he does get his opportunities, he has been finishing, but you'd like to see him finish a little bit more even too, for how good of a goal scorer he is.
And so the Islanders played at midfield, and you've just seen him in this game making those plays, getting the nice passes, making those dribble moves that make him that impact forward that the Bearcats have at their disposal.
Yeah, exactly.
As we see a foul called on one of the Bearcats. Bearcat faithful not very happy about that. That's just how it rolls. So Grand Island with the free kick.
He's probably going to shoot here, in all honesty. Yeah,
and
he looked like he was going to shoot, but with that win, he didn't even go through the uprights for 3 points. In all honesty, that was a terrible shot.
Just a bit wide.
Just a bit wide is correct. That was. If there wasn't a track that hit the scoreboard in the back.
And so 8:10 left. Goal kick for Jacob Hardy, the sophomore. Established himself last year as a freshman. And now gets a start here as a sophomore, hopefully for years to come. It's always a good thing when you have a starting goaltender, as both teams have the luxury of.
My goodness.
As you like to see, as you usually see, you like to build from the net out.
Exactly, and both have very good keepers at their disposal, which will make them obviously tough teams to beat when the keepers can make a save.
Especially the one Oregon had
my
just
goodness.
earlier.
I still can't believe that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't even know how he got that. He's not a tall keeper by any means. I mean, you know, typically you like to have a keeper who's over 6 foot or so. I mean, that's your standard prototypical White Pages goalkeeper, but I don't think he's quite that. So he's got great range.
So Austin plays it in. Islanders knock it out, and so here they come on attack. Austin with the tackle attempt, but it goes right into the foot of Straka. And Austin will regain the possession. It's the midfield. Now he's going to drive. He's going to give it to Eric. Excuse me, that's Munch. As Austin's going to head in for Oregon. And didn't look like it touched anybody. Oregon thought about it, but it's like, no, better not.
Better not when no one was in the box for anyone. There's no point to touch it in case it does end up coming off his hands funny. Which I'd be surprised if it does, honestly, after seeing that save.
As Oregon kicks it downfield. Dakin headers it out of play for Grand Island. As their possession. Final 6 minutes of this first half. 1-0. Grand Island off the goal by David Garcia. And that's been the only goal in our stat sheet so far. As Michael Root played that one, and going to be foul called on him. So, Islanders will have a free kick. So, free kick. All the way in the box.
That's good defending by Ingen right there.
And with adjustments Bearcats have had with formation, one of them has been Jane Ingen, the sophomore, moving back into that back four.
Yeah. As if I'm sure many of you know, he's probably one of my favorite players and just favorite kids and all around generally. And he's a good fella and works hard. Kind of just the epitome of Kearney High soccer.
And that's a good save there by Hardy as Omar came in and took a shot that was going to the top left corner, tried to get it there, but
pretty
nice
comfortable
save
for him.
As the Bearcats trying to get something going offensively as of late, last about 10 minutes. They haven't.
Yeah, I haven't really put too much on it. I mean, other than those set pieces, again, I think we still need a little bit more. I don't know what the right word is.
Jump to their step.
Yeah, attacking mentality. I don't know. It's just, it still hasn't been there yet. It's just been still a little slow from everyone. Need a little bit more forward play. Need a person to hold the ball up and be able to get Royce on the ball. I still don't think Royce has been involved a lot, but I don't think he's been involved in his favorite areas, and would like to see him get involved in the areas where he's very dynamic and can be that goal scorer that we all see him. As you see him come on the ball here, this is one of the spots I'm talking about right here. And again, he gets a corner for a set piece where they've honestly dominated their attacking chances so far. But again, that starts up with good hold-up play by Matt Munch right there to get Royce coming under him at a full speed right there and a good layoff. That's kind of where I'd like to see Royce get the ball, is have his forward hold it up and get him under the ball. It's a little bit harder to track the run that way.
Here's a shot that Oregon just put out of there. Austin will try to regain possession. He does. He'll give it in the corner for Dakin, a little short of a pass, and it's going to go off. So they're just going to let it go out of play. So Grand Island will have the possession. Again, good goaltending there by Oregon.
In for the Islanders, number 5, David Garcia. Number 11, Manuel Bravo Jr. And number 18, Ani Ortega. Ortega.
3 minutes to go in this first half. 1-0 in the favor of Grand Island. As Omar will play it at the midfield. And he'll go off his foot. Straka throws it down looking for Austin, but headed into the possession of David Garcia. As he'll just get into the attacking third for Grand Island, and it's going to be Root who will play it. And Root, given the opportunity to start, and is really taking it by the reins, as I think his first start of the season came when we covered the Lexington game, and he's held on to that starting spot ever since then, and I think he's done a really nice job, I think.
Yeah, and I think he has too. I would like to see him kind of go back to where Novacek is playing currently on your guys' screen right now, being that number 9. I think he's a little bit better at holding the ball up in that spot, and Novacek's a little bit better on the outside, putting some crosses in. But as you see that right now, he's still earned his spot. He's done his job, and that's what's going to keep him his spot. I think he's probably one of the hardest working kids on his team, and has put the time in over the last, I think he's a sophomore, so the last year, you know, and doing the things he needs to do and being a varsity player, because he wasn't even sure if he was going to come out a year ago. And Steimer kind of coaxed him into it and brought him under the wing, and, you know, has developed into him actually a very good forward for him. So
as Austin's going to play it, drops it off to Munch, and he's going to shoot it wide.
it's pretty ambitious from about almost 40 yards out.
Of course, Matt Munch, the senior, one of the captains on this team. Also, John Erickson.
Wouldn't have minded to see that shot on his preferred left foot there. While he's pretty good with both feet, I feel like it would have been a little bit better of a strike had it been on his left foot.
As it's about 4. As Novacek headers it right back, but Oregon will be there to stop it with the final 30 seconds.
He'll probably close this out here, in all honesty.
He'll take his time as he's kicking out through for Erickson. As Schwartz will play up on the defense. Tries to get to Omar, but Engen just kicks it downfield in the final 10.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
As it'll go right to Oregon, and that will be halftime. Grand Island, with an early goal by David Garcia, has a 1-0 lead as we get into the intermission. We'll take a break and come back with some stats. Scores from around the state. Get you ready for the second half between Grand Island and Kearney. And the Islanders lead at 1-0. You're watching live here on the Bearcat Sports Network.
That wasn't that great of a
Welcome back to Kearney as we are at halftime, the dwindling seconds of the halftime of this top 10 matchup of conference champions, as it's the Islanders who hold a 1-0 advantage here at halftime. Let's get you some stats. We'll start with Kearney. They have around 5 shots on net with 3 corner kicks. One just about went in, but the goaltender for Grand Island, Oregon, with an unbelievable save to keep it out. And the other side, we got Jacob Hardy, who has 3 saves, and that's it from the statistical standpoint for the Bearcats.
And for the Islanders, they've got obviously 3 shot on goal, as Hardy has made 3 saves, 4 shots in total with 1 missing wide right, 4 goalkeeper saves, and the goal coming by number 5, David Garcia, in the first minute and 30 into the first half.
And so it's a 1-0 goal. Kearney's had their chances. They didn't play too well beginning of the half. They played better in the middle half. Then it really started. Grand Island really started to take more possession, and the Bearcats really couldn't get anything offensively flowing near the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think they both had their moments. I think Kearney dominated the middle 15, 20 minutes of that game, and Grand Island obviously took it, that first 5 minutes they kind of took control, and I'd say even the first 10 minutes they really had control of the game, and then kind of evened out. Kearney took a little bit more of that possession and attacking mentality, and then I think the last 10 minutes or so, I think Grand Island kind of had the edge there, to be honest with you.
So if you're Coach Steinbrook in the locker room with your guys, what are you telling them as we begin the second half?
We got to be more direct in going forward. I like to use the little phrase, possession with a purpose. Possession is pointless without a purpose. You can sit there and have 95% of that possession and never go forward with it. There's no point in keeping the ball. You don't win soccer games 0-0. You win soccer games by scoring at least 1 goal. And in this case, it's going to take 2 goals for the Bearcats tonight. So I think they got to be a little more purposeful with their possession and going forward in their attacking. And they have been very dominant on their set pieces. They need to keep that going. But kind of just start settling down in the midfield, winning balls, and kind of dispersing it out to the wide players and let Royce Austin get more involved in an attacking position.
As a shot there went up and high and out of play. And as we look at the starting lineup, nothing formation-wise changed for Kearney. I don't think of the Islanders either. But notice Matt Stute starting the second half, and I think when he was in there, I think they played a little better overall.
Yeah, and the only mix-up they ended up doing right here is Dakin's out on the wide right on that top of that 4-3-3, and Novacek moved to the middle, putting Stute back in with Carson and Royce. I apologize there. So that's basically the only change that Kearney made. It looks like it's basically the same from Grand Island 2, still in that 4-4-2.
Might as well mark this down as a corner kick because mainly here's a header chance, and it's going to go just wide. It looked like that might have been Stute.
Yeah, it was a good up by Stute, but I think that ball just floated a little on him and couldn't quite get that power on it. He had decent little direction, just couldn't quite get that power that's needed for that.
So when Straka has it down low in a situation like that, I might as well mark that down on my stat sheet as a corner.
You may as well, because that thing literally hits the penalty spot about every single time.
And so Grand Island's get battled with it in the midfield. They're going to bring it into the attacking third. They're trying to at least forwards with a nice deflection there. And Stute with a tackle attempt, but it gets by. And that's good defense there by John Erickson. If he wasn't there for the pass, I think that might have been a great scoring chance.
Yeah, I think that they at least get a ball in the box, which creates another scoring opportunity for them, but good defending by Erickson.
As Islanders will take it away, but Novacek using that speed to come back up.
Great, a bit of recovery. I don't think that was a foul in all honesty. I'm going to disagree with the ref right there. I think Novacek kind of put him on the weights right there. That's unlucky. That's all right, though. Things happen. You move on.
And so, be a free kick for the Islanders. That's number 9, Brian Covarrubias. He'll kick downfield, and he's got a – that's a miss. So that's a great chance, but to go just out of play. That's pretty good. That was a free kick right there.
Honestly, that ball was about, I'm going to say 75 yards on a line and put into that 6-yard box. And honestly, Hardy probably should have dealt with that a little better. Made his defenders a little uncomfortable there by not judging that a little bit better.
And so Kearney will have a throw in. So begin the half. Both teams going back and forth. Grand Island, Kearney with a good opportunity. Then Grand Island comes back. They have a good opportunity right there with that free kick. And so Straka is just going to swing it downfield, and it's going to be headed out by an Islander, so he'll just throw it in once again. It's all the way down. It's can't be controlled. My Islanders as they just wing it back into the midfield, and Straka for the third straight time is going to just whip it there into the offensive zone, attacking third for the Bearcats. As now it's Omar, who he has opportunity 1-on-3 though. As he gets by, looks like that was Ingen there. Now he comes. Here's a shot, and it's just wide on. A great stop by John Erickson.
That's great. That's great defending by Erickson right there. In all honesty, he stretched his little legs as far as he could right there to get that ball out. Honestly, still a pretty tight angle. I still think he would have finished that if John's not there. A little loose defending right there in the midfield. Either, in my opinion, you either foul him right there to stop that, you take a yellow card instead of that possible goal-scoring opportunity, which without Erickson is a goal and would have been 2-0.
And so Hardy takes it downfield for, and that just shows Omar. He's their main tactic forward. That just shows the impact he can have. It's kind of their counter to Kearney's Royce Austin.
Yeah, he's been great for him so far. I think he's a pretty bright little player like Royce Austin is, and have great attacking mentalities there. And the ability to go forward is for those two is, I mean, honestly, they're very similar players.
And it's going to be a free kick here for Austin. Here's a good opportunity. Good scoring chance for the Cats have to take advantage of. Austin. And just finds the foot of an Islander, but it's getting back out to Austin. So they'll reset.
That's a great ball right there.
He's going to look for someone, but no, there.
Just a little too deep.
Looked like it was Studi and Novacek in that area of attack, but it goes wide, and so goal kick for Grand Island.
And another thing on Omar, he's only a freshman, so it looks like he's going to have another, counting this year, 4 years of being a very bright talent for Grand Island, especially at that forward spot for him.
So as I look at the starting line for Kearney and Grand Island, it's like I think I count 5 or 6 for Grand Island as seniors, and I think that's about as maybe a little less for the Bearcats. I believe there's about 3 or 4.
There's 3 maybe.
3. So both teams, they have a Kearney they got more youth than Grand Island in the starting lineup, but Grand Island's got a nice mix of senior leadership and young impact players.
Yeah, and I think that's a good benefit for both teams, having a little bit of mix. Nothing wrong with having a younger group, but having a few older seniors that have played at this level for obviously a longer time than them, to kind of give them a little more knowledge and how to do things, and the pace of play as it picks up. It's good to be generally mixed. That way you're still built for the future and not all now.
As it's played in deep, Omar is trying to play it, but off Dakin. And right there for it is Moises Jacobo. As it's played in deep for Straka, but he's going to play it back out, but it's still in the box. It was a little behind the back kick right there, but Studi will play it there in the far corner.
Yep. Work it out here, see if they can work it out. If not, just kind of get it and clear your lines.
And a shot is going to be headed away. Back, Studi's just going to kick it in the midfield. So, Grand Island with some pressure here.
Yeah, it kind of forcing their hand in that midfield battle again. They've started quick again. I mean, that's both halves that they've started quick, and Kearney started kind of a little slow again. Still not playing their best yet, in all honesty. Oh, that was unfortunate. I'm pretty sure that was a Kearney throw, to be honest with you.
As it's going to be the Islanders who will have the throw-in. Throwing it in is Marco Pelio, number 19. He's going to get it in, but Engen with a header, get it to Austin, who will he'll fight for it, but that's going to be off an Islander. And so Austin's going to drop it off for Erickson.
Kind of need to slow themselves and get a bit of confidence back. It's still pretty lax still from that first half. In all honesty, I don't think they've quite picked up to that level that Coach Steinberg wants them at and expects them at. In all honesty, he expects a very high level out of these kids, and I think he's deserved that high level because of the teams that he's produced in the past, and obviously the way that they've played, because they're 8-1. They're not 8-1 by playing bad teams, even if they are. They've played tough teams. They've won tough games, and they've won the games that they should have. And you know what? The one loss, it wasn't even that bad of a game for him. It was just an unfortunate one for him. So I think that he may be a little disappointed with how the kids are playing, just because he can expect something so high out of the kids with his expectations because he has good players.
So the Bearcats working it into attacking third, and here comes I'll mark off the corner right now.
You put the corner down. Here comes another bomb from Straka.
As they'll get it in deep. That's a bad of one. A lot of players fell down as
looks like Studi was in the mix there again.
As Spath will play it.
I can't lose it. That's good defending right there by Spath. That's well done.
Schwartz. Double team will be Dakin will try to get it.
That'll be a foul by Schwartz. Well, as we have a timeout here, I'm going to bring in a little brother to talk to you. Austin's going to kind of come talk with Jeff here a little bit, and then I will be back on.
As we welcome in Nate's brother, Austin Mishu, graduated last year, was a forward and all super state for the Bearcats. How you doing, Austin? How's it feel to be on the mic for the first time?
It's a little weird being back, honestly, and not being out there. This is one of my first games I've been able to catch. I don't like not being out there with my teammates, but obviously it's a little bit new for me, but it's been good so far.
So as you've watched this game, what's your take on it? What are you seeing? The Bearcats or the Islanders doing well? What are they not doing well? What's your overall scheme?
It's just kind of a classic Kearney GI game. It's kind of a dogfight. Obviously, GI's had some pretty good chances, but Kearney's had two great chances as well, where I honestly don't know how we didn't get that one that came across the box. Kind of a bunch of people came in. But I think Kearney had some momentum there. I think halftime kind of killed it for us a little bit because we had a lot of possession going forward. But I think come next 5 minutes, I think Kearney's going to pick it up here pretty soon and do what we always do, and we'll have a nice quick GI game here.
And as the Bearcats trying to work out offensive attacking third now, Omar will bring it up for the Islanders, but broken up nicely there by John Erickson. Something that probably you would say Bearcats haven't had the sense of urgency that they've had in past games.
I think obviously we're having a great start to the season. It kind of came out a little lackadaisical with the 2-minute goal, and that maybe woke us up a little bit, but maybe it had a little slow start to the second half as well. But hopefully we'll pick it up here before it's too late, where GI kind of goes in that defensive mode and drops everybody back, and then it's just impossible to score on anybody.
And so a little entry there from an Islander coming in with the substitution is number 13, Azu Diaz. And so it will be, looks like a free kick for Grand Island.
There's a chance that they play it back to Kearney here because we kicked it out, and so usually when that happens, the sportsmanship rule comes into effect, and you just give the ball back to the opposing team that plays it out.
So you played with the team last year. You guys went to state. So you know a lot of these guys.
Yep.
So as a team, what do you think, because you know at the end of the team last year, what do you think they do really well, and what do you think some things that you think they can improve on?
They were really resilient as a team. Obviously, coming in last year, most of these guys that started were freshmen and sophomores, and they had no experience coming into it, and that's when Evan Hayden, our other captain last year, and myself kind of had to step up and show them the way to go. But I'm just watching the film here and kind of watching them live. Their skill is much better than it was last year. I think they're more confident as a team. They obviously know what's going on. Obviously, when you have Jacob Hardy in the back of the net, your defense is going to be pretty relaxed. And that's when I think John Erickson and Sam Straka step up. John was absolutely huge for us last year. I think he was one of the more underrated players in our team. When it comes to Straka, everyone knows the guy can kick it 50, 60 yards down the field and throw it just about as far. But John's really stepped up, and obviously I think he's deserving of that captain's band this year. But they just kind of know what's going on this year.
And so a corner for the Islanders to be played in, and the header attempt is missed, and so and there's going to be a high foot on Grand Island, so Hardy will have goal kick. And so he'll kick it down here in the midfield towards Novacek, but it will just go out, so the Islanders will have the possession. So yeah, you played against Grand Island last year.
Yep.
What is Islander boys soccer? When you face them, what do you think of them? What's Grand Island soccer, boys soccer to you?
Well, personally, I don't like them. Obviously, the Kearney had GI rivalry, but they're very, very technical. They're very, very skilled as a team. That's why it's kind of a big rivalry between us. Is Kearney kind of has that physical type of play to it. We're not necessarily as skilled as they are, but we out physical, and that's kind of what causes the heated tension in the game. But obviously, last year the GI was a little weaker team, and we kind of took advantage of that. This year they're like us. They returned everybody and have a lot more experience. So I think within the next 2 or 3 years, we'll see that this game's going to become more and more competitive, and it's going to be a top 10 matchup for the next couple of years to come.
And so, you played forward last year. I think you had a chance to play with Royce Austin.
Yep.
You had a chance to kind of groom him, and you're seeing him being the impact forward he is for the team. Are you seeing some things about what you kind of taught him last year coming into this
They're kind of doing what Royce did with me last year. We both started at the target forward, which is what Hunter Novacek is playing right now up top, and they dropped him back into the attacking midfield, which is I think is his best position, because obviously Royce is a very skilled player and his touch is just better than most people's on the field, and this allows him to get the ball and run at people rather than what Novacek's doing right here, where he plays back to the goal. But I mean, he was a freshman last year. He had 10 goals, which is pretty darn good for a freshman. Now he's already got 10 goals, obviously, on the year. So he's obviously a bigger part of the offense. But in terms of if I ever taught him anything, I don't know. I didn't really give him too many specifics. I think he's just a good enough player that he's learned, and he can play multiple positions on his own.
And so the ball is being met away here in the midfield. As of late, no real good scoring opportunities for either team. Really, I think whoever, as of the latest, as Omar is going to bring in a counterattack, but it's going to be 1-on-4. He's going to work it in at night. There's going to be a shot to go a little wide, but Hardy will swallow that up.
You'll see a lot more of that 1-on-4 type thing, especially as the game gets deeper into it. You guys going to start sitting 4 or 5 guys behind us and allowing that number 7 to kind of get up on his own.
As Oregon comes up aggressively and plays that one out of play, and so Straka is going to throw it in. Maybe a little
deeper
little
for him
deeper,
here.
yeah.
But with Straka, you can still get it to the edge of that yard box where they play it the same as a corner kick and look for the flick.
As Halvert and Caleb Crittenden come into the game. And here's Straka. He is going to throw it in, looking for something.
Flick.
Here's the deflection. It's going to be kicked out of right back to Straka, who's just going to try to get back into the box, but Islanders clear it out. We're senior Brant Spath.
It's one thing Kearney's got to be weary of is pushing too many men upfield to where it's kind of a 2-on-1 with that number 7, and obviously his speed is greater than most people's out here, where you don't want to leave him like right now. You got a little bit of it's a unlucky ball there for GI, but good idea.
As that was number 8, Derwin Mendez on the attack right there, but a pass just a little too far, and so it'll be goal kick for Jacob Hardy. Looked for Michael Rutt, and it looks like foul call there. So Kearney will have a free kick, and Austin will just give it to Erickson, who will
try to build up.
Pick it up.
As the game, obviously we mentioned before, as the game goes on, they're going to start packing that box, and so we're going to start playing out the back and try to work our way around it. And you're going to see obviously more of this, where it's 1-on-5 with a kid with tremendous speed. He's pretty well to actually get something out of that.
As it's Spath.
I believe this is going to be Kearney has throw, but they're going to pin him in.
Just throws it in, look for Dakin.
Yep.
And off the face of Mendez, and it'll be Dakin to bring it up.
These quick transitions are going to be key for Kearney, as long as you don't lose it.
So, if we get deeper in the game, what do you see? What adjustments do you think Coach Steinberg will make in trying to get more something done offensively?
What we did last year, if we were ever trailing, obviously we played the 2 defensive mids with, I guess, kind of switch with now that Studi's a little hurt. But I think you're going to see Carson move into a more advanced role, and maybe just one holding mid where Dakin is right now. It's good hustle. But you're going to start throwing more guys. The outside backs and John and Strock are going to start pushing way up the field, and it's going to almost look like they're outside midfielders. But basically, they're just going to start throwing people up at the box. But that won't happen. Kind of the 20-minute mark will maybe push a few people up, and then come that 15 to 10-minute mark is when you're going to see everyone kind of go up.
As Michael Rutt, they are trying to keep that ball in play, but it goes out. And so, little over 2 minutes until we're halfway through this second half. Then we'll start to see which team has the most endurance. As we get down to the crunch time, Crittenden tries to play it, but kind of double teamed, and it's Rutt headers it back to Crittenden, who will play it back for Christian Dakin. As the Bearcats just trying to get something established there in their attacking third, but just nothing going so far. As now they're going to try to bring up in the attacking zone, or as I say that, they're going to bring it up here.
Yep. They're going to want to start using the wide spaces as midfield because obviously, as you can see, GI is going to have about 3 or 4 people stacked in the midfield in front of their defense. So coming from those wide areas where Straka and John are going to be big keys to this, just because of the fact that they can get in and play on the cross.
As Straka's just going to play to deep. Oh, yeah, almost got Austin right there, but good defense by the Islander defender. As it's played back, Havert on the pressure, but the Islanders will bring it back out into the midfield.
That's what you want to see. Yeah, that's good.
As
there's not going to be a whole lot of attack for GI here, but their quick counterattack, especially with number 7 speed, as you guys have mentioned this entire game, is going to be important.
As here's a chance, Austin, here's a
break.
On the breakaway, shot,
No.
Save, rebound.
Finish.
Rutt fought for it. It's another shot, and it's going to be saved by Oregon. Oh, my goodness.
That's a good start for Kearney High, though. Maybe we can get some momentum here and start pushing some people forward. Just can't get frustrated. Obviously, with 20 left, we're going to get a lot more opportunities, but the second we start hanging our heads and putting it down is when it's going to get a lot more difficult for these guys. Just kind of got to keep pushing up and make sure we don't make any stupid mistakes.
And that's about the second really good save Oregon's had this game. If not for him, it would probably be 2-1 Kearney.
Yep. He was there last year, and he had a heck of a game. We only beat him 1-0 on a Matt Studi header within the last 5 minutes of the game. He played a heck of a game last year. He's been good for it. That's a good shield by John Erickson there. It's a goal kick, yep. All right, Jeff, I'm going to go back and be a normal parent and sit and yell at the officiating. Thanks for letting me have it.
Well, yeah, thanks, Austin. It was good having you. Hopefully to see you sometime else, but now we welcome back Nate Mishu. So Nate, it was exciting.
Yeah,
right
honestly,
there
I
on
thought
that
we were going to
attack.
get a goal right there. Unfortunate, Royce. Honestly, it was unfortunate he didn't score, but, another good save by Oregon in the goal there. Unfortunately, he couldn't put that away because I'd bagged Royce 9 out of 10 times, and I think that's one time where it's a good save, but he also missed it. Hopefully he gets another opportunity because that's the first time he's been able to really break free in this game. Hopefully he gets another opportunity to kind of redeem himself there.
So Straka is going to he's going to fake everyone out, just give it to Dakin right there.
Yeah. Kind of interesting.
As Dakin's going to bring it up, wanted to go with that left foot shot, but whiffed on it, and it's going to be Omar who's just going to.
This kid, I tell you what. Oh, that's a tackle by Straka right there.
That's a
Kearney
great.
needs to go forward with this. Need to spread it out wide.
Straka is going to bring it in. Look for Austin. He gets by
Here's
again,
another-
but it's too far. So
would have been flagged offside anyway had Royce been more involved with that play. It was not a called offside because he was not involved. Or I guess he did call it. Sorry. I didn't think he was involved enough for him to call it.
So as we see, the last couple minutes, Royce has had real good opportunities. He's starting to break away from that Grand Island defense.
He's dropped that number 10 where he's playing that. I'm going to call it a false 9. He's not a number 9. He's never going to play with his back to goal very often. That false 9 where he's still going to kind of float and play off the right and left shoulders of both of those center backs, which is how he's kind of getting free. The center backs aren't quite checking their shoulders, and Royce is kind of getting free, and that's how he's gotten his opportunities. So you're going to see him playing on the shoulders of those center backs and trying to make sure that they're taking a peek and making sure they're keeping him in check.
So Islanders will have the throw-in. And they'll give it out front, but Studi just says, no.
Right. It's going to be a fun 17 minutes here. I do believe we're going to have
handball look like
the way this thing looks. I think Kearney hopefully might be getting one as Grand Island's going to slowly start packing it in. You might even see Dakin or Studi start pushing on a little bit more here with about 17 left, as Austin said, that they kind of they drop that 2 defensive mid and play 1 defensive mid. I would say by about minute 13 at the latest would they have 2 midfielders that are deep. I'd say Dakin would most likely go forward, and Studi's going to sit just because he has that injury still. And you're going to see them start throwing next to near everyone at set pieces. Honestly, I'd be very surprised if anyone goes forward but the 2 center backs.
So here is Straka. We know he can kick it pretty far, so we'll see what they do right here.
Yeah, he also knows how to put it right. I mean, right now you're aiming for that little penalty spot, that little dot on the field.
That's a good one right there.
And I tell you what, he put it right on it, and that's very close to being a foul.
But
the keeper has a right. That's why it's not a foul, but it's very close to being one where he is coming too much through the back and not making a fair play on the ball.
As another shot by Straka goes wide.
But again, Oregon coming up big again for the Islanders there and making a really good save.
Kearney fans not too happy about that call, that no call on Oregon.
Unfortunate, but I do think it was a fair challenge by him. He has a right to come to the ball as well.
As Oregon will kick away, 16 minutes to go in a 1-0 game. Islanders lead it. The goal coming at the minute and a half mark. And it's going to be off an Islander, so the Bearcats will have thrown it into the other side of the midfield. As Erickson just throwing it down immediately to Austin, who will just tap it in the direction of Shores and Novacek, but Islanders can come back with the counter attack. But it'll be Straka who headers down for Havert.
Would like to see Straka and John get a little more involved with the offense here. I don't think they've really had a whole lot to do with it today. But they've also had to keep the 2 GI forwards a little in check because they are very, very quick to help out their center backs. Would like to see them be involved because those 2 have some of the best deliveries as outside backs.
As Novacek's going to kick across the field for Havert. And he's going to try to shield himself from it, and it's going to be off Havert, and so the Islanders will have throw-in. So 15 minutes to go. We have a score update for it. We got North Platte, a rematch of the GNAC Conference semifinal between Columbus and North Platte. And it was North Platte, I think, in fact, winning 2-0. We'll double check that score. Yes, it was North Platte winning 2-0. Kearney plays North Platte next Tuesday, which we will have here on the Kearney Strive TV channel. So that's a quality win for North Platte as Columbus beat them in that GNAC semifinal.
Yeah, I heard that was actually a pretty good game.
As downfield for Austin, which
you're going to see a cannon, as you're going to probably, nope, you're not going to see they're going to play quickly. I thought they might even try to set Straka up again. I think they might try to start setting Straka a little bit more and trying to slow that part of the game down to set their set pieces up, as that's been their best opportunities throughout this whole game. Play fast every other time, but they're going to try to play a little bit slower on the set pieces to make sure it's done correctly.
As Hardy's just going to kick it downfield for Schwartz, who missed the header. They're just going to play it. Studi came on the attack, but he missed as well. And here come the Islanders on counter attack. Going to play it in, but Hardy's going to come out and play it. Good decision, as Omar was closing in pretty fast. All right, down, and Islanders again with an opportunity. Nice spin move. Here's a shot, but no big deal for Hardy as he makes the save. Down for Novacek. As Grand Island again on the attack. Here's Garcia, his only goal tonight. Gives it off in the corner. But he's about triple team down there, and who's he gonna go off of? It's gonna be off the Islanders. So Kearney with a little under 13 minutes to go,
G and
you need to get something going.
yeah, as much as GI can set back, they're actually pushing pretty high forward to prevent Kearney from kind of going and pushing at them as well. And they're having actually a good little spell right here. And oh man,
Shot out front. That was a great chance, but just off the foot and out of play.
Yep, you're going to start seeing some subs from them. Just try to slow it down a little bit for them. Kearney needs to kind of pick that pace up and then find if they're going to put someone in to go for the last 12 minutes for a sub, or we're going to play with this 11 right here and start flip-flopping people around, because I think it's about the time you need to start throwing things at that goal. Not throwing the kitchen sink yet in all necessary terms, but that'll come at about 5 minutes. I think they got about 7 minutes to start pressing forward, and they need to get hold of this ball. More importantly,
as Omar on the attack is taken away by Studi. As Studi's going to play behind him, about for it is Erickson punches it forward, but
looks like it's going to be a foul there.
Each fan base getting a little nervous as we get down to the 11.5 minutes left. As we head back out to midfield where Dakin is there, and it's played in the favor of the Islanders as they move it into their attacking third. Mendez going to drop it off here in the far sideline. Kick in is going to be swallowed up there by Hardy. So last few minutes, Islanders have just, it's been at midfield, or the Islanders have been in their attacking third of the field. As they put it back in, as the speed of the Islander right there, it's going to be off a Bearcat, so it's going to be a corner. That was a nice play there by Manuel Corrado Jr. Uses speed, played off a Bearcat defender, and they'll have corner kick in the time of a game where that's really unlikely, as they usually, teams with the 1-0 lead like to play back, but Islanders, like you've mentioned, mate, has been playing really aggressive.
Yeah, and I think that's typically, I mean, you like to sit back, but it's only 1-0. I don't think you really can sit back, as they still kind of, this is kind of another spell where they're going through and being a little bit more the more aggressive team, which, I mean, when you're up 1-0, why sit back? There's no point to sit back. You can go out and get another one and, you know, honestly put this game kind of away.
And the Islanders will play it again, and they're attacking there with 10 minutes to go.
You're going to see a lot of possession here out of Grand Island, trying to move that ball left, right, back, forward, kind of wherever they can get a pass going. And Kearney needs to kind of close their gaps, close their space, because otherwise they're just going to start running, and that's what's going to get them tired here in the last little bit. Kearney needs to get a hold of the ball here, settle it down, and keep possession, which kind of is going to be starting with Hardy here if we can get something going. Need to be a little more physical in the air.
Sorry, just punts it up there. Probably not
one of his better ones, but it's all right. I mean, Novacek's there.
As Islanders will kick it down, it's going to be Erickson who plays
it. That's a foul, yep. I'll give you an explanation here why that's a foul and why the one with the keeper is not. Be it that the keeper can come out with his hands and he has a space that he can clear to come out and keep his hands out. Typically, a keeper is going to come out and come through the ball with both hands, and it's coming out to make a save. Keepers are typically a little more protected than a field player is, whereas John came back with his elbow up, and obviously you're not allowed to use hands as a player. That's kind of the differing in those two fouls, and why one is called and why one is not.
So 8:40 left in the second half.
I really would be surprised if you're going to see Studi and Carson and Austin kind of start hanging a little higher. I think Novacek and Hoffert need to start playing a little bit higher too, and getting John and Straka in the attack if they can, and kind of basically just sitting with the center backs. And I think if they're going to choose Dakin to sit back as well, it's basically going to start being a back three here soon. They kind of need to start throwing numbers forward with only 8 minutes left and get a hold of that ball in the midfield. As you see a turnover, you got to break quickly.
As a misplay by another defender, opportunity up to Novacek. He's still going to get through, but it's cleared away. Back to Schwartz as he plays it to Matt Studi. Studi makes a nice move. He's going to go to the far sideline, but it's just cleared out.
That was close to a foul by Studi there with a late challenge.
As I think it's Straka who's going to throw it as far as he can down into the box.
And here's going to be a good one right here. This is where I throw everyone. Honestly, they've got one person. You've got a 2v1 in the back. You're just fine defensively. Everyone should be forward here.
Here's
You're trying to hit Carson's head.
Here's a header and nothing goal, but a rebound shot off the wrong side of the foot, looked like by Dakin. And it's going to be Austin who's going to try to play it. It's going to be deflected. Here's Studi.
Oh, he should have played Carson through right there. I don't know if he kind of saw him on his left shoulder there. Carson was in there, unlucky. That's all right. Another good opportunity there.
And we played back in Kearney's defensive third. And Straka is going to go off an Islander. Or still in play.
Yeah,
and now they'll just kick it downfield and it'll go out.
You got to start seeing some pretty direct play to get the ball forward here from Kearney.
As David Garcia checks in, he has the only goal of this game, coming at the, let's say, 2-minute mark. And that's been the only goal since. 1-0 Grand Island, 6.5 minutes left. As Studi's going to play it. Actually, well,
that was a foul, yeah.
Foul. So, Kearney will have a chance to bring it upfield. And Straka puts all the way down as Dakin puts in the court for Novacek, but it's too far out of play. So the Islanders will play it in their own corner, and they'll just clear it to midfield. As Spath plays it, but it's going to go out as well. As it's played, as Omar has a chance. He's going to get ahead, but it's going to be, he got a little bit on it, but Hardy with the save. So, played at the far sideline, and it's Islanders going to take it away. 5.5 left. Shot in for Omar. He's going to put back for Corrado Jr. Oh, he almost got by Erickson, but Erickson, nice job to recover there.
Good defending there.
And now, Novacek.
There's a good one. Now you need to go forward with it. You've got to be quick in going forward. You have 5 minutes left. Everything needs to be going forward. It can't be slow. You need to start putting people forward here.
As they just kick it out, as maybe a possible injury.
And with the injuries, time will always stop. People can be upset all they want to be. The time does stop. It's not like he's time wasting. It's all right. It looks like he has a pretty genuine cramp there in his left foot, left calf area. The clock does stop, so everyone can be happy that the clock doesn't run. There's no stoppage time in high school. It's going to stop at 4:54 here until the ref blows his whistle.
And number 13, Josue Diaz.
As we get back underway, it's Hunter Novacek. And a little confusion.
You should give it back to him.
And they did.
Okay, now it resets again.
As Oregon's going to play it down, Erickson plays it up. It'll be Novacek with that midfield. As it brings it up, Dakin plays it in for Austin. Wants to play it in the corner. Fought for. Who's it off?
That should be.
And it's going to be off
Here's
Islanders.
a good set piece.
So
no need to rush it. There's still 4 minutes left. Set your time. Put everyone in the box. You honestly should probably only hang one person back. You're going to see 9 people in the box, 8 people in the box, being the one person hang back, Hardy and the free kick taker, all right?
here's a chance, and it goes back out. And now it's going to be out of play, but Kearney will have the possession. And here's a throw-in.
Really trying
Looking
to hit
for a
Carson
header.
Schwartz's
He
head.
does. He does it. Hunter Novacek.
Novacek off a Carson Schwartz assist. What a big goal for Kearney High. Again, coming from set pieces for Kearney High. That's been their thing all night with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left in this game. Kearney High is going to get a goal from Hunter Novacek.
Oh, my.
Haven't done a whole lot of attacking outside of set pieces, but there's one right there for you.
And we count that the 77th minute. Wow.
Goal coming in the 76th minute of the game. Kearney 1, Grand Island 1.
So, off the header, it looks like, I believe it was Schwartz or Dakins.
I think it was
Head.
Schwartz. They're always aiming. They're always aiming for Carson Schwartz's head. He's about a 6'1" maybe, and he's the biggest aerial threat that Kearney High has, and it should be hitting his head about every time. And that was a great win by him. A nice little flick to the back post where Hunter Novacek has the ability to be calm and bury that ball.
I was just going to play it out. As Omar went down, but he's back up now.
Yeah. And
So I know you want to attack, try to get the goal before the end of this game here, but you want to be a little conservative. You
Yeah,
got
I
the tying
don't.
goal, but
Exactly.
you don't want to give one up.
you go back to your normal shape. It should be Royce up top with, I think Carson's been playing under him. I wouldn't even be surprised if Carson starts to drop a little bit, a little deeper than he had been just with him attacking so high, but you're going to see Dakin and Studi still in there. Everything should go back to that normal I like to say 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 system that they kind of play.
And so, Jacob Hardy, downfield for Carson Schwartz. He's going to place it down, and Austin's going to try to get for it, but nothing going there.
Still need a bit of pressure from Kearney. I don't want Grand Island to sit here and have possession in the next 2 minutes and 50 seconds and, have another opportunity late in this game. Now right here, I do think we have a bit of momentum. May try to go a little bit quicker here.
Plays downfield for Schwartz. He's going to header it ahead.
Trying to keep that momentum that we have here and may as well
and it's
go
stolen
forward.
away. Novacek. He keeps with it.
No
trying
point
to
to
get Austin,
sit back
but
here. Just kind of got to play. It's back to being a tie game. There's no point to push too far forward, but there's no point to hang back. You can still be aggressive, but also be safe at the same time and getting people back behind the ball.
As here come the Islanders with a chance. Played in deep, but Spath is it still in there in the box.
Good tackle by Studi.
And here's a chance. Garcia with a shot deflected, and it's going to get hit out.
I think it's going to be a corner.
It's going to be a corner. So, nerve-wracking situation right here. 2 minutes to go.
Yep, everything is away. Everything, as we talked about that last game, I'm going to be honest with you, start putting that ball in the corner right now, especially in these late defensive situations. And like we said in the new high school rule, as teams try to make subs, you can you stop subs because they're trying to waste the time. That's the reason for that. That's a newer rule that they had. We don't do stoppage time in high school like we explained, so the clock's going to stop for that reason right there so that they can't just specifically use it as time wasting.
Here's a chance. Shot is going to go right over.
I say you slow this down right here. This is my philosophy. You slow it down. You can kind of try to kill this last minute and 44. I don't think you're going to do a whole lot.
Just play for the overtime, but Rick Afefa want to go for it.
are a little upset. It should be a yellow card, in all honesty, right here. They're playing with 12 people. Coach should get a yellow card. When the ball goes out, he should get a yellow card.
Misplay. Corrados Jr. is going to bring it up. Play by Anders in the middle of the field. Garcia, a shot. Save, Hardy! And it's going to be cleared, and I think it's going to be a throw-in.
Good save by Hardy. I would like to see him deal with that a little bit better. I'm not sure if the ball knuckled on him a little bit there. Took a step to the left and ended up going down to his right. Pretty hard to end up doing, setting your feet, going left, and coming back down to your right.
Minute to go as Islanders just played in the box. And they're going to try to leave it.
It's going to be a corner again.
Another corner. So 50 seconds to go. They still got time.
Kind of still surprised. I don't know if the ref didn't realize they didn't have 12 people on the field, but it should have been a card to the coach, Coach Jensen, right there for having 12 players on the field, as that's technically his mistake.
Here's the corner. Kick in deep, other side. And a header is going to go. Here's a chance. It's tossed around in the box, and it's going to be cleared away.
Cleared out. One more defensive session here. Everyone needs to get back in the box for Kearney. And right now they just kind of need to relax a little bit, get the ball out, and it goes to the corner. Good pressure here by Carson Schwartz. This ball needs to just go out. Okay.
It's going to get cleared away. Schwartz is going to go after it. And he tried to tackle Temp, but I think
that's going to do it as long as Novacek can get it out of here.
Well, here's one last opportunity. Nope,
And
that's
that'll
going
be
to
just
do
fine.
it.
That'll be the end of
We are
regulation
headed
here.
to extra time. Tied at 1.
End of regulation play.
Kearney, Hunter Novacek with a 77th minute goal to tie it up at 1. We'll have overtime next. You're watching live here on the Bearcat Sports Network. Welcome back to Kearney as we are starting overtime. So this is how overtime works. We got 2 10-minute overtime intervals, and if that doesn't decide a winner, we will head to a shootout. Well, there will be 5 shooters. And if we can't decide that, well, we'll just
You
go
continue
one at a time.
sudden death after that. If anyone scores during this overtime, do remember that the game is not over. You do play the full 20-minute overtime.
There's no rules for overtime. 2 10-minute periods. There is no golden goals. We'll play 2 10-minute periods.
So they switch sides once again for this overtime session. As dealt with here in the midfield, Islanders will go with the attack. It's mishandled, and Studi's going to come up with the steal, going for it hard.
Should be Pretty much same mentality for both teams, both coming back out in their same system. Maybe
as Engen
the
missed
exact same
the
personnel
hitter.
that was ending the game for both teams. Should be the same setup for both teams again. Kind of starting all over again. It's basically a new game. It's only 20 minutes long this time. So as you see a flip
Oh, here's
from
a
Carson
chance.
Swartz.
Royce Austin's going to come out,
Wow,
and
that's
Oregon's
good
going to play
goal.
it.
That's good goalkeeping again by Oregon. But both teams don't need to sit back. No need to throw people forward. You're tie game again. It's just 20 minutes is the only difference.
So, Bearcats will have an attacking third. Studi is going to play it along the far sideline.
It's a good ball to John.
Erickson keeps
Good
it
hustle.
in.
Unlucky.
Nope, it's going to be out. So as we look on the scoreboard here on your screen, folks, don't worry. We're not 6 overtimes. That's only basketball.
Yeah.
And sometimes football. We are in the first overtime. 8 minutes to go. Again, there are 2 10-minute overtime intervals. If not, we're going to a shootout. So the Bearcats. So it's looking like they're about 2 or 3-0 when they've gone extra time.
Yeah, and I think they've won both shootouts that they've been in this year.
And of course,
so a decent stat for them.
Grand Island has been to 3 straight shootouts
Yeah.
before this game. It could be 4.
Could be an interesting little situation if it ends up getting there. Hope, for our sake that it ends with the Kearney High win in overtime, so you don't have to put the stress on the announcers, but that's all right.
Then we got Grand Island. 5 of their 9 matches this year have gone into extra time, and they're 4-1 in those matches.
Not a bad record right there.
And so they have experience. Well, Kearney does as well,
Both.
but Grand Island, you say, has more when it comes to that. But here's a chance. It's going to be Havert who's going to be on the attack in the corner. He's going to wait for his counterparts, and it's going to be hit out, and it's going to be corner. It's going to be corner.
Good. This is where Kearney has been at their best tonight. Everything has literally been through set pieces. I cannot tell you how big of an important set pieces are in a game. Again, should be taking time to taken properly here. You're going to be looking for Novacek or Swartz in the middle here.
Here's a chance, a header. A flying header tried in. It looked like that was Austin, but
yeah,
he goes
made a
back
little
out.
near post run there that I think Dakin might have even been trying to hit his head coming on that near post run.
Straka's just going to play it back in again. Here's a chance. Royce Austin goes for it. Break it up. He's get back out. Takes a shot. It's going up and over.
Hey, that's a good challenge by Royce Austin right there. Didn't impede the goalkeeper coming out for the ball. He's done that properly. It's not a foul on him. It's good refereeing. Unfortunately, when you're turning that fast and trying to whip a shot because the keeper's not in, you're typically going to be leaning back, and that's kind of the case in that as he fired it just a little wide and right.
So 5:50 left here in this first overtime session. As Grand Island will try to get it forward, but takes a friendly bounce off of Bearcat, off Erickson, and it's going to be played ahead. Looks like trying to go for Havert in the corner, but Islanders will just let it go out, and looks like it's going to be a goal kick. So as we go towards the end of the regulation, it seemed like Bearcats they brought up people to get something more done offensively, but even this, they've gotten something more fluent on the offensive side of the ball.
They're finally starting to play a little bit of soccer. It took 70 minutes for them to really start flowing. Fortunately it was done in the last 10, but you get a goal, that's all you need. You get it back to 0-0. They handled that adversity of giving up a goal a minute 30 into the game, fought back, played good enough in that spell, and in that last 10 minutes played their best soccer that they played in that first 80 minutes, and ended up reaping a little bit of rewards and having a good goal there at the end of that first half, or second half, sorry.
A shot by an Islander goes wide left, and so it'll be a goal kick for goaltender Jacob Hardy. With 4:20 left in the first overtime. Down at the midfield, it's going to be controlled by Havert. He's going to bring it back to Dakin, and it's shuffled over to Sam Straka, who's going to kick it back deep in for.
That's a good little bit of possession.
Royce Austin,
That's a
trying
great
to get
turn
free.
on Royce. That's
and
a great turn
right
from
back
Royce
to
Austin.
him. He tries to make a move, but still just around there. It's Havert with a shot, and it's going to be deflected back towards the sideline, and Islanders will bring it up for a counterattack. Kick forward, but Straka's right there. So just kicks it down again for Austin. That's not bad of a... And it's Oregon who's going to make the stop.
Royce is starting to get pretty involved with the offense here again, which is a good sign for the Bearcats.
Downfield once again, and it's going to be Straka. He kicks it out. 3:25
Be interesting
left.
to see if Coach Steinberg's going to make any subs in this overtime or just go with the 11 that he's got out there. I would assume his mentality is right now, let's just keep these 11 guys because they got us back in the game. Why switch it when you've got a little bit of momentum going with this 11? They've played well, and I think they've all deserved the minutes that they're getting right now.
And attacking third is Granada Engen going for that header. And then the Islanders will come away with the possession. They kick it forward. Hardy's going to play it. And it's jostled away, but it's going to be cleared away. That's good defense there by Kearney to clear it out. And they'll come down the field. Austin's going to let it go by him. And here comes Grand Island. Omar, you kick it down at the far sideline. It's going to look for a cross, but nothing going, and Havert is there. They just have a shot, and it looked like more like he was going for a field goal more than he was going for the soccer net.
Just a bit outside.
So 2:10 left. We'll see what Bearcats are going to draw up right here as Hardy will have a goal kick. All the way down, looking for Schwarz. And it's going to be all the way up there back as Spath headers it forward. As Havert's going to play it. But there's about 4 Islanders there around him. Just kicking it up and
Doing
down.
a little bit of juggling there in the middle of a game.
Minute 30 left. Tied at 1 in the first overtime session. Christian Dakin plays it forward, but taken away by an Islander. They'll control up here. But Dakin recovers and gets back, and it's going to be taken away. Back here come the Islanders, but
Good defending by Spath.
Spath steps up, makes a nice defensive play.
Another one.
Headers it forward, and now here comes Kearney. They could be on a counterattack as Austin's going to play it forward. Here comes Austin. He's going to dribble it towards the corner. He's going to wait.
He's going to slow it down. No one was in front of him.
Straka's going to play it in deep, but
A
no one's
decent
really there.
look for, I
As
believe that's
Eriksson's
Novacek. That's a good step by Eriksson.
He's going to
Good
play
tackle
it in.
again.
Tackle. He's going to keep with it.
Good by
And
Carson. Get
Schwarz.
it out wide. Can we get it out wide? That's all right. Slow it down again. Keep some possession. Go forward.
Straka plays it in. He's
Oh,
going to play the
unlucky.
corner.
That's
of
all
the
right. It was the
office.
right idea.
30
Trying
seconds.
to get Hofford in right there and turn and go forward. And that'll almost kind of close out the first session here, this overtime period.
So we'll see if Islanders really start to push it or last in.
Both teams are just kind of keeping everything in front of them, to be honest with you. And I think that there's nothing wrong with that. You don't want to be loose and give anything away.
10,
Straka's going to just
8,
hammer into the offense at third.
6,
Where nothing's there. Here's this.
4, 3,
Austin takes a shot, goes wide, and that does it for the first overtime. We are still tied at 0 apiece. We'll take another quick break, come back with the second overtime. You're watching live here on the Bearcat Sports Network. We welcome you back to Kearney. We start the second session of overtime. If this decides no one, then we will head to a shootout where the Islanders have played in for 3 straight matches. So, Bearcats will have it in the inner circle to begin with. So, Nate, what are you looking for the Bearcats to do right here in the second overtime?
Still keep everything in front of them. Obviously, you don't want to give up a goal because it's the second session of the overtime and you don't want to go down again. But still be aggressive going forward and having that possession where they can get an opportunity like late, in the dying seconds of that first overtime. But keep everything in front of them. If it needs to go, it needs to go. That's just fine. Safety over everything.
Kearney 1, Grand Island 1.
And so they switch sides. Yes, they switch sides again. So Straka is going to play it in deep, looking for Schwartz.
Looking for Schwartz and a little flick.
Here's a header.
Schwartz is playing very.
Here's a
that
chance. Here's
number
a
9
shot. And it's going to go wide.
That was a good effort by, I think that was Jaron Hoffert. That was a good little effort there.
As that was a good shot, just a little bit wide.
Yeah.
So we are a minute in to the second overtime session. Play down. It's going to be Dakin. Headers it for Novacek. Novacek wins the battle. Back for Erickson. Just punch forward for Erickson, for Schwartz. And it'll just be hammered out. So here's Erickson. He's going to throw it in for Austin. Schwartz tries to keep it in, and he can't. So Austin just says, no, I'll just kick out of it.
You'll probably see Royce drop a little bit deeper just for that help in getting possession of the ball in the midfield, and you'll see Carson stay up top, obviously, to be the strong person who's going to win all the aerial balls that are going to come towards him.
So Erickson gets it to midfield, but Islanders there. And so the Islanders looking for offense out to Garcia. Is going to work with it here on the 30-yard line. And here come the Islanders on the far side, and he's going to kick it in, but Hardy's right there. So Hardy gets it downfield. And it's going to be back for Erickson. Erickson plays it forward. The Islanders there, but they'll be back out to midfield, back in, and that's going to catch them off guard. Here come the Islanders on a counterattack.
Just keep them outside here.
And that's good defense by Spath.
Right there. That's good help defense. Good defense on Spath. They slow him down, and good on Novacek to come back and help his center back out there.
Here comes Austin's going to wait up for
Austin's going to see if he can go a little one-on-one. He's only got one person forward, and that's Schwartz with him.
Ooh, kept in.
Can he find a pass, or is he going to?
We'll take it. Blow your whistle, Shane.
As Austin still gets it through.
Well done.
The Schwartz. As Austin comes up, he's going to take a shot, but it's going to go wide.
Good work by Royce there in the corner here. Good work. Hopefully Kearney realizes that the keeper's holding the ball here and need to pressure him just so that he'll pick it up.
Yep, here comes Royce.
Kearney, it looks like Grand Island's kind of obviously going to play a little slower to not give anything up and take it to the shootout. But why wouldn't you when you're them? Because they've won the last 3. And with Oregon in the goal and Hardy in the goal, I think it could be a good one.
6.5 minutes left. As Oregon puts it downfield. As here's a chance for Grand Island, but it's punched back out by Jane Ennigan. And it's a good play by him. Or that might have been struck as well.
Good
As
defending by
Erickson
John.
makes a good defensive play. Spath and Erickson really made some good defensive plays here in this overtime.
All 4
sessions.
of them, Straka and John, have been very good at winning their one-on-one battles, as an outside back has to be when you play that position. Always got to be good at one-on-one defending.
As Novacek is Garcia is going to have it get it back. Try to look for Omar, but it's fought for. Here.
And fouling. Honestly, Kearney should kind of just slow this down. Set it and get their numbers forward and see if they can put one on Carson's head again and get someone in behind. That's been a very good tactic for them this half.
Straka looking for Schwartz again. Off an Islander, though. But Schwartz is still going to play it, but Islanders come away with the possession. Studi stepped up, but it's back into the attacking third. But Erickson going to clear it. Played ahead. Just teams not
they
really just staying neutral, being a little conservative.
Yeah, and that's fine. I think that they've played 90 minutes already. I guess 95, because we've got 5 minutes left. And I think they're starting to see the weary legs of 95 minutes and overtime, and the amount of energy and passion that's gone into this rivalry is kind of starting to show itself, and that's just fine. They've put a lot into it. Kearney's put a lot into coming back. GI's put a lot into holding on. So it's kind of typical to see the game just kind of being in the midfield right now.
Studi, play it up for John Erickson. Erickson. He's going to go forward with it.
That might stay with the wind.
That's
a
foul.
Oh wow, guys, that's really close to being a penalty. That is a step outside the box, and I think that I think you have to be on the field to call it. And I think he's called that very appropriately. It's very close to being a penalty kick. I think it's very hard to tell. He's literally, the ref has put this ball on the line. He's literally put this ball on the line. This will be a direct free kick. If Straka wants to shoot, he can shoot.
And here's Straka. Here's a great opportunity for Kearney. Kick it in, and it's going to be just deflected and cleared out by Grand Island.
Kearney needs to have a win here and not give the ball up.
And now
Straka should foul here. Someone needs to foul, in all honesty, with his pace.
And now here's Omar. Here's a good chance. Backpedaling, and step forward, but Omar still has it. He's going to take a shot, and Hardy's going to save it.
That's fine. Back to that foul. That was a step outside the box. I would assume he's going to call obstruction on that. The reason that foul is called is he was not playing the ball. He was defending the man. He went straight for the man and not in the intention to play the ball to clear out for the keeper.
As it's played back, Spath punches it forward, but back to Omar here at midfield. Gonna leave it. Now he has it back. Here, Grand Island. Here's a shot, but Hardy swallows it up.
Good and Hardy need to slow it down for Kearney here. They're getting a few shots on goal. Need to slow it down. See if they can't get a little bit of momentum back.
It's Hardy just punts it away for Novacek, but it's back.
Uh-oh. All right, need to get back and defend this one. It's going to be a handball on Dakin, about 40 yards out.
And so
they've been good at attacking set pieces. They need to be good at defending set pieces and getting the ball cleared out and resetting again.
As we work into the last 2 minutes of the overtime.
They're going to throw everything forward. They've got two people back. This is going to be right on that penalty spot at Hardy. It's going to go over the net.
It's going to go wide. So not the best.
Honestly, I do think he tried to shoot that. I'm not going to lie. That wasn't a ball in the box. That was pretty direct to see if it was going to test Hardy, and just enough for it to go over.
So Hardy, give you up with the goal kick. And here we go. Kicks it, looking for Novacek down. Gets it forward, look for Royce, but Islanders just kick it out.
See if they can't get a couple more people forward. There's only 4 people forward for Kearney right now. See if we can't get one more to try to get one last attack in here.
As Islanders just going to clear it away. Erickson back.
That's a good touch by John right there. That saved from getting Omar through, possibly right there again with his pace that he.
And that's good defense right there by Ingen just to get that one away. Now Grand Island control around.
Yep, Kearney needs to get back and shore that midfield up. It's a little open right now. Don't want it to be open this late in the game.
Here's a shot. It's deflected, but Hardy will come and swallow it up. 50 seconds. As a rough play right there. Nothing
Good strength
called.
by Royce. Get it and go forward now. It's going to be pretty slow. It looks like this might.
They
We're
might
going-
try to
see
save
if
for the
we-
last shot a little.
See if we can't get one last attack in this 30 seconds. A good flick by Carson there.
Here's
Can we get a little bit of? Can we get one in the box maybe? It's a good ball. Royce is going to run onto it. We got to get Straka in. You've got to get Straka in as quick as you can.
And you look at, yep,
Straka's got to get there. We've got 15 seconds left. By the time he throws it, there's probably going to be about 8 by the time the ball gets in the box.
So here's
This is going to
Straka.
be a big set piece for him. It's got to hit Carson Schwartz's head again. This is who you're aiming for. Carson Schwartz.
Strock. Here's a header. Oh, Studi just about had it.
Corner kick, and it's not going to get off, unfortunately. We're going to go to penalty kicks here
And
tonight.
we are headed to a shootout. Penalty kicks. We will take another short break. Come back for penalty kicks between Kearney, Grand Island. Stick with us here on BSN. Welcome back to Kearney. We're just about set for penalty shots. So, Nate, what is the strategy when it comes to shootout?
Making all 5 of your shots. That's basically what it comes down to. It comes down to a mistake, basically. Either a mistake with the shooter or a mistake from a goalkeeper. And what you're thinking, what a mistake from a goalkeeper. That's one where he can save. That unfortunately does go in. Mistakes are very prevalent, especially inside of this type of rivalry. I think that the nerves might show up. Hopefully they don't. But basically it comes down to who is going to be mistake-free. And
what's if you win the coin toss, what do you like usually to do? Shoot first or shoot second?
Honestly, I like to shoot second. Coach Steinberg likes to shoot first. He likes to, what I call, set the tone. If they make it, you've got to make it. My personal thing is I like to see if they're going to make it to know if I have to make it. I know what I've got to do, and I got to go up and do my job. That's kind of how I feel about it. But everyone's going to differ, and that's just fine. I've been in both. I just prefer shooting second because when I shot 5, and I liked having the game-winning penalty to know what I needed to do.
And so it looks like it'll be Royce Austin to shoot it first for Kearney, as they
typically
will be the first shooters.
Your best shooters are 1 and 5. Start good, end good. That's typically how it goes. And again, down to a mistake. Either to a keeper mistake, who should make a save, or it's going to be down to a player
Here
mistake.
we go. A shot off the top post. I think it was a good shot there by Royce, just a little too high. As now the shooter for Grand Island, Brian Covarrubias. So what did you see from the shooter shot from Royce there?
Good shot. It was just one where it got a little under it, and unfortunately we have square posts out here, and that may have played a little bit of part of it, where around post it goes in.
And here's a shot by Covarrubias. He's going to shoot, and it's going to go in. So Covarrubias hits the first shot. So at the end of round 1, Grand Island 1, Kearney 0. Still got 4 shooters. So now getting to Sam Straka. And yes, he likes to go with the left foot. Probably one of the hardest shooters Kearney has.
Yeah, honestly, you would be surprised if he even kicked this with anything but his laces.
So here we go. Shot by Straka. No,
That's
a
good
save.
My goodness. I think that was going wide on top of the save, but two not so great penalties from Kearney. Right here, you need a save from Hardy. Have to have a save or have to have a miss, one of the two. You're going to need a ball as that one went quite a ways out of play.
And as we look, the shooter is number 8, Duran Mendez. He's a senior midfielder. And that was just a good save by Oregon on the last one as well. He's been making great stops all night.
Yeah, not sure if it was going to be wide or anything, but he still had it covered pretty handily. Like I said, Kearney, you've really got to pick your spots and hit it, especially with a keeper like Oregon, who's got some pretty good range for being a little smaller.
So here's Mendez. And it went off Hardy's hands and in. So Hardy, he got there, but just a little late and went off his hands and into the back of the net. As it looks like it's Carson Schwartz who will take the next shot.
Needs to make this one,
And
otherwise the next one is done. It's over. After Grand Island makes it, he has to make
do
this.
or die right here
It's
for
basically
Kearney.
sudden death right now for Kearney.
Carson Schwartz puts it in the back of the net.
That's a penalty right there. That's how penalty kicks should be taken. Step up, pick your spot, and hit it.
So Kearney is still alive.
Yeah, we need a save here.
And if you're Kearney to win it, you still need two saves.
2 saves, and you've got him. You can't miss now.
And up for Grand Island is number 21, Ernesto Gomez Jr. He is a freshman midfielder. So here it is. And to go in. Hardy guessed to his left, but it was to his right. And Grand Island is 3 for 3 on penalty shots, on goal kicks, and
again, we're back to Dakin needs to make this.
or it's over.
Yep. Dakin makes this. Grand Island makes it. It's over. Dakin misses it. It's over.
So here we go. Christian Dakin. It's
That's
in.
another good penalty right there. 2 good penalties in a row. Both the kids have hit their spots.
So now it's all up to Jacob Hardy.
Save and we keep playing. Or a miss. Big pressure here for number 6.
So for Grand Island, it's number 6, Moises Jacobo. He is a sophomore defender. Here we go. And it's in.
And that'll be it.
And Grand Island pulls the shootout victory. In penalty shootout, they win it. They go 4 for 4.
Yep, that's good penalty taking by Grand Island right there. An unfortunate night where Bearcats didn't quite hit their spot.
But nonetheless, what a game.
Yeah, it was a great game. There's no doubt about that. That was fun. Kearney threw everything they had in that second half and got one back, and, unfortunately, just didn't take the best penalties tonight.
And so we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the post-game show. We'll have some stats, scores, and get you on your way. Again, Grand Island wins in shootout 2-1. We'll be back for the post-game show here on the Bearcat Sports Network. We welcome you back live here to Kearney for the post-game show as Grand Island ekes out Kearney here 4-2 in penalty kicks to pull out the victory 2-1 in shootout. Let's get you some final stats. First, we'll start with the Bearcats. The only goal of the game of regulation was Hunter Novacek in the 77th minute, coming off the assist of Carson Schwartz. It went off Schwartz's. It was a header by Schwartz, and Novacek just put it home to tie the game in the 77th minute. Total shots, we had about 10 for Kearney with 4 corner kicks and 10 goalkeeper saves for Jacob Hardy.
And on Grand Island side, their goal came in 1 minute and 30 seconds into the first half. Number 6, Jacobo. Number 5, Garcia. Shots for them, they had 14 shots, 2 corner kicks, and I believe 5 keeper saves.
And so Kearney loses in penalty shootouts. They missed their first 2, while Grand Island made their first 2. They actually made all 4. Kearney did come back and they got their last 2, but it was too late as Grand Island put all their penalty kicks home.
Yeah, it's just one of those where sometimes the night doesn't go for you, and there's not much you can do about it. There's no other words to say. Sometimes you win penalty shootouts, sometimes you don't. And unfortunately tonight there was one where the Bearcats just couldn't pick it up. But overall, it was a fun game to watch, and they put on quite a show tonight for us.
So both teams moved to 8-2. Bearcats suffered their second loss of the season, while Islanders get their 8th win of the season. They both moved to 8-2. Grand Island's next match, they will travel to Creighton Prep. That's going to be a tough one for them, as Prep's going to be. Prep is on the rankings. They are number 1 in those rankings, and it's going to be Kearney who's going to go to the Lincoln Southeast Invite. I know this is demoralizing, but they got put behind them because Saturday. I mean, they're not going to play the best teams, but it's still a thing where you can't keep this in your mind. You got to move forward.
Yeah, you can't drop the next 2 games. They have to win this weekend and come back and, say, oh, well, tomorrow when they have practice and forget about it. Yeah, it's a Grand Island game. Yeah, it's probably one of the biggest games you play during the regular season. That's definitely for sure. But, there's more important goals than one regular season game. Their end goal is obviously to get to the state. So I think that, think about it tonight, think about it tomorrow. But as soon as that, 3:21 bell for Kearney High ends school, or you guys don't even have school tomorrow. I lied. I'm just kidding. Whenever they have practice tomorrow, you drop that, you get back to your session, and you get back to doing your job.
So probably the player of the game had for Grand Island had to be Oregon. Made incredible saves all throughout the game. If he didn't have the saves he did, I think Kearney would have won in regulation.
And I do believe that as well. He picked a couple big saves out of the back of the net, and Hardy was pretty stingy all night, just making the saves that he needed to kind of keep Kearney in it.
And so other scores, probably the only one notable score, the GNAC, going to be a rematch of the GNAC Conference semifinal. North Platte avenging their losses. They win 2-0 over Columbus. Our next broadcast will be next Tuesday as Kearney plays host to North Platte, both for boys and girls. For more information, stay tuned to our KHS Media Pro Twitter account for times and dates. And that's going to wrap up the post-game show for us here. From myself, Jeff Extra, my partners, Nate Mishu, Cannon Rash, Sean Carson, Zach Warnke, Robert Goff. It was a pleasure doing this one. It was pretty fun. Any final thoughts, Nate?
No, couldn't have been better. Kearney High GI rivalry. Unfortunately, didn't come out with a win, but hey, put on a great game for everyone to watch. Hope everyone enjoyed and have a great rest of your night.
So that does it from here. From the Bearcat Sports Network crew, thank you for joining us, and good night, everyone.